You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the deep and unknown, exciting ocean of our creative minds together with Todd Fleischman. Hi, Todd. It's great.
How are you doing? You're the only one who can pronounce my name correctly.
I mean, yeah, Fleischman is very German.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable. So we used to be last week, like at the Digital Shamans are in Buenos Aires, and now we are in Seattle. Cool. So Todd is a musician, and he used to play in a band called Living in the 80s, and I would consider them actually as inventors of the grunge, and somehow they inspired actually Pearl Jam to their music somehow. And if you listen to the Living, I mean, I was listening to your album, it's great. I really love it. So the other thing is, so we will go through all that. We will start in the first episode, like always, to know Todd better, where he was growing up as a child, and in the second episode we might gonna dive deeper into the creative side. And in the third, we don't know yet where we end. That's quite cool. So the other funny thing is that Todd is as well somehow a friend of Nick Scott, which I had already in my previous episodes. He's the drummer of the Sword of Fatima. So it's great. I love this. I love this idea, that everything is linked somehow, and people are connected, and making love instead war, So this is great, Todd. I would say we're gonna start, and it's great to have you here. That's really, really cool. It's 4:00 in the morning. How you feel?
I feel great. I'm a early riser. When I was a young guy, we didn't even get out of the house until 11 p.m. to go out, get crazy in downtown Seattle and stuff. So it was, it's kind of changed, early riser, but, it's fabulous. I feel great. And, this is always, one of my favorite, topics to talk about is music. And there's such a connection of bands and people that I grew up with that we went to school with. Yeah. And so, in the Seattle scene, people just don't realize that the connection of people and musicians who are really famous.
History, art and music. How close that is intertwined, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and then the influences that people back in the late 70s, they went to a holiday in London and stuff and brought records back, and then all of a sudden we're listening to it because it wasn't played on the radio station. So, and that's what it's so cool. My wife was laughing. Where'd you hear this stuff? I go, well, at somebody's house, they never played it on the radio.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. It's so interesting how history and culture travels through music. I mean, through the distribution of long players. Because I was the same. I was, as I was young, I was happy that I earned good money and I bought a lot of records, and just because I liked the cover, or I knew the producer, I had I read a good critic in the Rolling Stone, and I thought, hey, you know what, this could be exactly your cup of tea. Just discover it, you know, and my world became so far much bigger in my teenager time through that, you know, like you say.
Yes, exactly. Well, I have 3 older brothers, so a lot of influences. It's funny because my father listened to just classical music, and so you would hear that in his car. Yeah. And then my mother, she was listening to more modern music, and she saw the Beatles and stuff like that. So she was always very, she liked that we were playing music, and she thought it was the greatest thing in the world. That we're listening to music. So we would when we were growing up, we're listening to American Bandstand, but then also Soul Train. And so you're getting 2 different genres.
Absolutely.
And I was discussing with other people that on Sundays we listened to American Top 40 and on the AM radio, and so just all that music was always there. And then my oldest brother was telling me, he was telling me about Led Zeppelin.
How old was he?
No, so my brother is 9 years older than I am. My oldest brother, Scott, and then my second oldest brother is 7 years older than me, and my brother Kim, and then my brother Kyle, who's 3 years older than me. He's a musician also. He's a drummer. He plays in alternative country, so it's an old style,
like Americana, or
it would be like early, like maybe a Johnny Cash style, or
it's not too bad.
So it's like stand-up drum and there's no.
What's the name of the band?
It's the Christy Wilson. They had this band called the Pickets. It's kind of twanging, but it's not like the country music today. It's more like something you would hear in the 40s or 50s, and so it's stripped down. And
it sounds interesting.
I think it's more. Yeah, it is very interesting because it's. I feel like it's more genuine. It's not. It's just they totally like it, and it's great to hear.
Not overproduced. It's just on the heart, probably, and straightforward. Yes,
exactly. So there's not like, you
might give me the link. The link. Maybe they have something online as well.
Yes, I could do that. And that's just another avenue on people that who crossed into.
I think
my world.
So you were lucky, actually, that probably you started early then as well, with listening to music, don't you?
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, according to one of my brothers, I went to in 1969 to Six Stadium where Jimi Hendrix was playing. My brother had to drag me with him. And
your brother was 1969. Okay.
Yeah. So,
and you 7. So you probably as well might say 1962 born, or when?
I was 63. So I just turned 60 this year in February.
Okay, so you're younger than myself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
what
so,
the club soon?
Yes, exactly. And like I tell people, like I'm 60, the new 40, or whatever. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't feel any different, little aches and pains and stuff, but more relaxed about everything.
Me too. I mean, but there is something. I mean, I would say energy rise, energy, like there is a different. I would say it is different than at least in the 40s, So between 40 and now, so I see some different, or at least I feel that that you appreciate your time where you were alive more than before, you know?
Oh, no, far more. Appreciate a lot of stuff. And that's a good thing. I mean, I like taking pictures and stuff, and just appreciate that I'm now taking more time to appreciate the people that I'm around, and all the other good things that you have. I don't like to dwell on negative stuff.
Me neither. I mean, the thing is, I must say, as I studied art, you've learned a lot. You had to write your essays about critical thinkers and all that, you know. So you had to investigate a lot into this critical thinking stuff, which can depress you as well, you know. I mean, I wrote my thesis about shamanism, art, and digital culture, and about transhumanism. I mean, that's where we're in now. How the enhancement of the human body somehow, you know, which was quite dark, you know.
Yeah. Well, there, with the light, there is the dark. It's just the yin and yang thing. So,
but you always have to find the balance. I mean, I tell that to you know it as well. A lot of our musicians friends, they suffer often from depressions, of depressions. Some more, some less, you know. And I try always, if I speak with friends, I say, look, try to keep the balance. It doesn't make sense. You help nobody if you dive too deep in your dark hole, you know.
No doubt, because I mean, I think everyone has a form of depression or something, and some people that are so high, they have the other side so low, you know. It's just
I know, just the waves. I mean, some they have such, some are toxic happy.
Yeah.
I mean, this toxic happiness, I hate it, you know. I really.
Yeah. And I mean, there's I'm finding more genuine people, but there is people that they're giving off this false kind of thing going on, and let's keep it. I was like, okay, keep it out.
I know exactly what you mean. It is really so it is, and I mean, especially if you are an artist, creative, musician, painter, also you see the world from a different angle, and in order to somehow to get inspired, you have to open yourself more to things like maybe just if you work as a butcher in a butcher shop, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It is still. I mean, I'm quite happy that I'm still alive. You probably too. I mean, you saw as well probably a lot of friends, or maybe less, passing away from taking overdoses and all that. I mean,
yes, of a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the when I was in my 20s, saw a lot of stuff that that was the dark side of the music and the scene.
That
I had to push away from it, or I didn't think I would live long if I stayed with it.
well, I couldn't.
Yeah, and so there was lines drawn, but then I had like about 2 years ago when this record was going to get released actually. We laughed and joked about how none of us did heroin, and so like, wow, you know, what a bar. But a lot of people and a lot of write-ups on some of the people that I have been blessed to hang out with. They said, "Oh yeah, they were doing all these drugs," but we weren't. they did. Alcohol was the biggest.
Sure.
Yeah, and that itself is bad. I mean, I think a lot of people, alcohol was their worst enemy.
Oh yes. I mean, it is. I must say, I would say, on the same level was cocaine and speed, and what I saw in my scene. I mean, I was happy that in my band, in even my punk rock bands, that was just alcohol, and we were and dope, but nobody was really in cocaine or so. But in my 30s, or say late 20s, 30s, a lot of friends or the scene, not just musician, became older, and due to the fact that they still were partying, they had to take more amphetamine in order to function, So that means that in the evenings when you socialize in pubs or something like this, and the people went to toilet, to take a line or what, they knew already that I didn't like that, because I like it actually to be clean somehow, So for me it was somehow so torturing on a way, because I couldn't speak with these people anymore. I saw already that you can't speak with them, that they don't listen, that they're just fluffy, superficial, and that was not my life, So
yeah, and I believe that that's the same thing with me. I always there was always a fine line, and then there was always, I'm a person that I work, so because I came from poor, didn't have much money, so working, I always made sure that you play, you pay, but you always work, and that was the family thing, is you work, you always had a job, so I always had a job, and so that kind of kept me from falling off the edge, where other people, they fell off the edge, they became homeless.
Yeah,
it's such a
that sounds like a very good ground base for becoming a musician, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and then the thing is about some musicians, they were towards the end, their dependencies on their drug of choice became more important than playing music. And then I've lost some friends from heroin, or the results of heroin were AIDS got them because of sharing needles.
I can imagine that. Yes, true.
Yeah. So through the 90s, that's when people were just dropping off like flies, and so I had to choose. I made a choice myself to let it go.
Yeah, no, you did well, man. But I would say, because this is a very interesting subject as well, and Zoom will throw us out soon.
Yeah.
I would say we continue our discussion in the second part. And I first of all, I would like to tell our listeners, thank you, dear listeners, from everywhere you are, that you listening to our show as well. Thank you in Dallas, in Florida, in Miami, in Argentina, in Seattle, Germany, Holland, Spain, wherever, Ireland. It's great to have such a community where we can talk and discuss and being somehow together, even if it's just online. If you want to know more about Todd Fleischman, you can add him actually on Facebook. You're on Facebook, Todd Fleischman.
Yeah.
Huh? You can add him there, or join the Isle of West Cork artist group, where we're gonna keep discussions going as well. or I don't know, are you on Instagram?
Yes, I am. I think that this is healthy for people to talk about stuff that might be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I think that we all got to come together, not push each other apart.
I agree completely. Yeah.
And
Sporting instead bullying, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get mad at people that have a different opinion on a lot of stuff, as long as they're not fascist. I guess.
Yeah, or hateful, you know.
Yes, and I just
or bashing or whatever.
I'm not into that stuff. I'm into opening up new avenues into my crazy mind.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I'm
absolutely
loving it.
I would say on that note, I mean, and as well, hey, hello, Todd, welcome in the Hall of ArTEEtude. You might be here. That is one Hall of ArTEEtude mark from one of my latest podcasts. So
oh man, that's so cool right there.
So you're in it soon as I have the promotion done, you know. So it's great to have you there. Time is flying by. We're gonna if you guys want to go to my ArTEEtude page, it's at Schlich, at ArTEEtude, or at I Love Westcock Arts as well on Instagram. You're all invited to join discussions, and we're gonna play now the first song of Todd's ex-band from the 80s, The Living, and it's called Life by the Gun. Do we want to add a short ending to that? We have still a minute, Todd.
No, please. Oh man, it's so much fun.
So yeah. So
well, thank you, everybody, and you know, it's a world party, I tell you.
Absolutely. So Live by the Gun. Take care. I'll see you next week, Sunday. Audio Confession. Bye bye.
Just
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.